So the Yankees have always been good at developing relievers. That's something that has been universally known by every Yankee fan. And they have always had a pretty strong bullpen. With the exception of really 2020, they've always had a bullpen that goes at least 5 or 6 guys deep. And especially this year, they had a really deep bullpen. And going into next year, I think they have a really good deep bullpen. They signed guys like Jimmy Cordero, who has some good stuff. They signed Matt Bowman last year, who'll be returning from Tommy John surgery. He's a solid reliever. And they have a plethora of guys who are returning from last year who are going to make an impact on the bullpen next year. And so for the Yankees, though, there usually is that one guy who breaks out as a reliever. And I think that guy this year is going to be Steven Ridings. Steven Ridings, again, came up this year, really showed a lot of great flashes, throws 100 miles per hour, has a sinker and a four-seam fastball, really nasty breaking ball. Just a guy that I really think the Yankees could develop into a great reliever. You guys know where to follow me at Ryan Garcia ESM on Twitter. Follow the Fireside Yankees Twitter at Fireside Yankees, and check out Empire Sports Media for all your New York sports content. Without further ado, let's get into today's video.
That one's in deep to left field.
And Schultz cashes in.
Got him. Oh, what a play.
Stanton forward again.
Here comes Wade. Here's the throw. He's safe.
Steven Ridings boasts a 2 fastball repertoire, with both his fastballs clocking at around 97 miles per hour, his sinker generating more run, and his four-seam fastball generating more vertical rise. And his slider is also a really good pitch. This is a pitch that hitters had a 0 batting average, 0 slugging percentage, and 0 WOBA against. I repeat, he did not give up a single hit on that slider last year and had a near 80% whiff percentage. Again, small sample size are going to be small sample size, and you'll see outrageous numbers like that. However, it speaks to how devastating of a pitch it can be, and especially when used with his fastball and sinker well. Now, his four-seam fastball did not perform well last year, but I anticipate that changes as he matures as a reliever and as he gets more reps at the major league level. He has 2 devastating fastballs, a devastating breaking ball. It's really all you need as a reliever, and while maybe he could develop an off-speed pitch, I don't think it's necessary for him as a reliever. He's not going to be stretched out as a starter, and so I think the third pitch development aspect of it is kind of out the window at this point. Now, Steven Ridings has a lot of those tools that just make him great. That extension that we haven't talked about yet, it comes from him being 6'8". So when you think of regular velocity and perceived velocity, there are guys who throw like 92, 93, but it's harder than other guys who throw 92, 93. And that's extension. And that's what Ridings has. That's all height, getting a better stride, stretching towards the plate more. It's an advantage that really you only see with guys who are taller. And Ridings has that, and that's a big thing to have, because that makes it so that his 97 may be perceived as 98, 99 on average. Makes it harder to hit, makes him more deceptive, makes him a better pitcher. And he just has so many tools, and he's just absolutely disgusting. You look at his pitch mix, you look at any film of Steven Ridings pitching, and you see it. You look at the numbers, you see it. You look at the projections for next year, and while projections for relievers aren't, very volatile, you can see that there is enough upside there for you to want him to start on the major league roster in 2022. And that's where I see Steven Ridings, for me at least. I think he is a guy who should start on that major league roster, be the 8th or 7th guy out of the bullpen, and be a guy who really develops as a Yankee and becomes one of the most reliable relievers throughout the season. You look at Loaizaga, he wasn't a guy who was projected to be the Yankees' first, second, or third option. The Yankees had Chapman, they had Green, Britton, I know he got injured to start the year, but we're just thinking about where they were coming in spring training. O'Day, he was probably the 4th guy coming out of that bullpen, or the 5th guy if the Yankees were fully healthy, and he elevated himself into the top guy in that bullpen. And I think Ridings isn't going to elevate himself to the top guy per se, but I think he can elevate himself into that top 5 or 4 in that inner circle of trust. And so with that being said, that'll wrap up today's video. Let me know what you guys think about Steven Ridings, because I think he's a really talented reliever and someone who can be a great Yankee. I'm Ryan Garcia from Fireside Yankees. You know where to check me out on Twitter. You know where to check out Empire Sports Media. You know where to check out Fireside Yankees for any articles or tweets. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Ryan out.